how the writing has changed just over the period of time. When I just give you one example, especially writing on Siraj-ud-Daulah and the event in Plassey. From 1760 onward, no, the even there are some Muslim, the Tariq-e Bangala, Muhabbati Jang is Yusuf Ali Khan, Siyar al-Mutakharin by Ghulam Hussain Khan, and Krishna Chandraya Charitam, this by written by Rajiv Lochon Mukhopadhyay, Palashir Juddha by Nobin Chandra Sen, Siraj-ud-Daulah, Akshay Kumar Maitro. You see, before we coming to Siraj-ud-Daulah by Akshay Kumar Maitro, earlier writing projected Siraj-ud-Daulah in a completely negative sense, in a despotic situation. He was a despot. He was a he used to drink. He was a womanizer. He was that. He was a killer. He was, this was the projection. Even the Muslim writer presented his Siraj-ud-Daulah this way. Similarly, the Hindu writer also projected or presented Siraj-ud-Daulah this way. We know why. Is one of the important reasons was basically they were influenced, or in most cases, they were supported, sponsored by the British, especially East India Company, to write history. And these writing basically again translated to England in order to justify British rule. The question why Bengal fall all of a sudden, it's not all of a sudden. Bengal didn't fall all of a sudden. Basically, it took a long time. One simple reason, many other among all of the reason was, Bengal, not only Bengal, Muslim sultans or nawabs across, after the death of Aurangzeb, like we have an example in Abbasid era, the local sultan started appearing as an independent ruler. Similarly happened in India actually. After the death of Aurangzeb, local nawab, they were actually, say, local governor, kind of, right? But they become nawab. Nawab, in a sense, they were actually independent, sovereign on their own. So these nawab actually, what started, they using the muscle of Western power. Like France was there, and English was there, Dutch was there. So what started they doing it? They used to hire either one of them or use again against each, one of them against other. And at that time, English was fighting. We all know, probably those who know the English history, the 70 Years of War between France and England. So this fight in Europe basically affected English East India Company and France East India Company there. So Bengal Nawab and the other Nawab also in other parts, especially in South India, they used to use those. So can you imagine? They use as a mercenary, take this support, and slowly, these soldiers, these mercenaries started to get to know the Nawab inside their house, how it works, how it operates. They started engaging with the elites. So slowly, we, Roman by said and others say, the Muslim have a sultaniyat, the culture of sultaniyat. They well intended, sometime with well intention, they kill opponent or to take hold of the power. And while they're doing, they take support from external sources anyway. So even in the time of Siraj-ud-Daulah, there are a lot of conspiracies within the Muslims, right? And there were a lot of other competitor who wanted to be a sultan or to be a nawab. It's not the Siraj-ud-Daulah. Siraj-ud-Daulah, the one of the youngest competitor, basically, and who was in many account, even in Muslims writing, even in the Oriental writing, and some extent which was true, before he became Nawab, he was very ruthless in many of his character. However, saying that soon after he became Nawab, he changed a lot, and he tried to defend his country, his territory as much as like any other sultan. So so when they allowed this Western power with the latest technology, they entered into the very much body politic of Bengal, which helped them to gain access, not only information, to use and abuse the internal coteries against each other. That was one of the, and most important thing I wanted to need to know, East India Company didn't go directly to rule. At least at least nominally, they allowed Mughal admin to function until 1840s or 1830s. So this is they call, double government, but diarchy. So this essentially, revenue used to collect by British or East India Company, but all other admin post was mostly left as it was. You see? So that is one of the tactics British use. Then the question of history, one truth. Like one slide you probably have seen how history doesn't tell actually one truth. There are multiple truths. What we call is pluralistic view of history. Just for example, I give in one of the slide how historical narrative changes. Just only one issue on Plassey or Plassey. Tariq-e-Bangla, written by Yusuf Ali Khan, is narrated. It is as a incompetency of Siraj-ud-Daulah. Siyarul Mutakkarin, similarly, Ghulam Hussain Khan argued that Siraj was incompetent. Siraj was not a just ruler as his nana, as his grandfather Ali Wuddi Khan. So they argued it was his incompetency. The policy took place and the collapse happened. But when it comes to Hindu writer Rajiv Lochand Mukhopadhyay, he put Siraj in a completely bad light. He put it Siraj was a drunk, he was a womanizer, he used to go after women, he used to go after people, kill innocent people. This is it been presented. Then it took years toward the 19th century. Akshay Kumar Maitro, when he wrote Siraj-ud-Daulah, this is the first time we see all the allegation been slowly going away, and he's putting Siraj-ud-Daulah in a very nationalist light, because by this time Indians started feeling their own self and they wanted to develop what is good in their history. And Siraj-ud-Daulah been projected as a kind of, he was a nationalist leader who fought with all his effort to save Bengal from British. Same example, when it comes to Sushil Chaudhary in 2014, this Sushil Chaudhary basically enlightened us, took all the pain, and he came to UK, he went to Holland, and so, using the Holland library, Holland Central Library, and he wrote something, an amazing historical book called Palashir Ojana Kahini. Through this writing, probably after 200 years, he debunked all the allegation against Siraj-ud-Daulah, the way the other historian presented. Now, you can ask, what is the truth here? Is truth basically troubled along the historical line, historical time? And the question of objectivity, all historians try, when they write, they say they are objective, but it is the time and how their presentation shape according to their time and the tension of their time.